Hey, so I'm gonna try something different with this video, a bit more unscripted, a bit more unedited. Tell me if you like it in the comments and stuff. So, recently I have been watching the Justice League TV show again, back in the 2000s, and my god, it's definitely obvious that show was one of the most defined editions of those characters. Like, easily, even without the supplemental material, like Batman anime series and Superman anime series, you still get a really good idea of all the characters, the new characters that you were introduced to. They all have arcs and they all develop in different ways. And I really wanted to draw Superman or Wonder Woman for this. I put it to a vote on Instagram. People wanted to see Wonder Woman, so that's why I'm drawing her. And I gotta say, like, Bruce Timm's style, like, everybody, there's many things people said about Bruce Timm's styles, but the most obvious thing is that it's very simple and very well made for animation. Just it cuts down to the core elements of a character and just puts them on screen in a very simple manner that you can just do whatever you want with. I gotta be honest, I'm not a person that's good at organic shapes. The more undefined the shape is harder for me to do things with. So his style actually is kind of hard for me to recreate. Plus, throughout the run of the original Justice League and the Justice League Unlimited show, it was evolved. Her face changes over time, but you can tell when it's a Bruce Timm's design. So I want to recreate that, as I believe my mother even loves the more petite and Bruce Timm style. So I was like, yeah, might as well. I definitely think that her episode where she has to go back to her mother and save her from Felix Faust is just really good character work, as it shows that she has a lot to learn in the world, and she does have to deal with the consequences, like a Greek tragedy, of her actions. And throughout the episode, she's doing everything on her own. But when push comes to shove, the whole point of the Justice League is that we have weaknesses that we cannot compensate and work better for the team. And then she finally lets people in to help her, and I really enjoy that. But every moment that she's on screen, she's a badass. Also, the old Justice League shows, I don't know how they got away with half the things they did. Like, there's some content in there that I wouldn't pass to there, definitely, especially like Felix Faust. I don't know if he comes back later in the show because I don't remember that much, but he just evaporates, to give it a censor friendly term. Just completely evaporates from when it makes a deal with Hades. If you haven't checked out the original Justice League TV show, you should. It's really good. It's always done in like two-parters, so you're left on a cliffhanger. And I think throughout the show, we learn a lot more about the characters and how they deal with things and how they evolve. Like John, well, there are multiple Johns. Martian Manhunter. Like, we learn about his family and what he's lost and where he has to go and how he evolves by the end. Like, if you remember his ending, it's pretty satisfying. Surprise! I did my own. Of course, if you saw the thumbnail, then you could have guessed. I think that this show not only defined the Justice League, but defined a generation. Many people grew up watching this show, and it's just, this is their idea of what Superman should be and what Batman should be and everything like that. With the recent events with the newer games that have come out and everything, there's been controversy and all sorts of things. I haven't really paid attention to those, and I have no interest, but because there's so much backlog to go through, there's so much good backlog, stuff that will be remembered for years to come, like the Batman anime series and Superman anime series. Even Krypton the Superdog, man, this is really good. But this is definitely most definitely what I picture every time I think, like, Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, all the heroes during that era, all the different heroes from both DC and Marvel that I really just put in my mind. Not just because I grew up with them, even if even watching them now as an adult, it is very clear that the audience, they weren't treating their audience like babies. Even if you were a kid, there was some stuff you can enjoy, some jokes, some levity, but also there's a depth there to the characters and stuff. I wanted to really try in my own style, my own interpretation of the character, and I think this is a good first attempt. I probably will come back to this at some point and redo it, because because I think that there's a good mixture you could have between well-built Wonder Woman and the more petite Wonder Woman. There's a good middle ground I could find. But I don't mind this first attempt. I love the colors, the way how the black turned out and how the shading turned out. I think that's really good, as well as the shield. I think the pattern on the shield is really cool. Plus, it's my first real attempt in doing so many multi-layers of shading and having actually well-defined layered clothing and all that kind of stuff. It's much more difficult for me. So I wanted to learn all these things to put together. So I definitely want to try this again, maybe in a year or so, and redraw her and do something different. The next time I'm definitely going to draw Superman and keep those things in mind. But yeah, this is my Wonder Woman. Tell me guys what you think, and next time I'm doing Superman, give me suggestions for the episode after. Whether it be a DC hero or some other character entirely, maybe something original.